also known as Dragonfly7673. You're watching DragonflySoars. I'm recording this on January 14th, and it's about 6:30 in the evening. It is Tuesday. I normally try and record on Monday, but we had a lot of really cold days, and we had some time where there was lots of ice. And one of the days, kind of during the holidays, I was chunking away at the ice in the driveway to get rid of it, and I slipped and fell, and I caught myself with my hand and jarred up through my shoulder. Well, when I finally got a chance to see the chiropractor, she has me actually doing muscle stim and ultrasound along with my adjustment, which means my appointments are, instead of being in and out, are now longer. And by the time I get home and find something to eat, it just starts to get to be a really long night. And of course it feels longer because we're still in winter and it's dark out. So I just decided to put it off until today. The only other thing I did yesterday was mail out the package to Calico Kitty, who won our December birthstone long prize last week. So her package is on the way. I always try and get them mailed, if I can. I try and get them mailed before the next recording. It just makes me feel better. So, I have lots of things to show you, mostly prize related for this year, but I also have made my own progress on things. This is my Argonaut shawl. The white string is my lifeline, and the lifeline's actually, I had told you guys that one diamond in the center is, I'm counting as one repeat because I need to do 20 of those, and I was going to put the lifeline in right before I started the next motif, but I forgot it, and then I remembered afterwards. So I'm actually, it looks like I only did from the line up, but I actually did a couple more rows. Not significant. I was really struggling this week with, there was just a lot of stuff going on, and I was making a lot of mistakes. Saturday I was by myself most of the day and just kind of vegged out, and I thought that I would get a lot done. I didn't, because I kept having to rip back and change my stitches, and it was just one of those times. But I am still on the first ball of Cascade 220 Superwash, so, and I've got a significant portion done, so, which is good. I have 10 balls total, which, yeah, hopefully that'll be enough. If anything else, I was going to say I could shorten it one motif for the center, but that might mess up the other panels, because remember I said last week that the center panel is a different height than the ones on the side. Oh well, I'm not going to worry about it right now. Anyway, so I did work on that. I did work on my Socks on a Plane. This is from Knitter's Nightmare. It has gotten longer. The last time you saw it, I believe I was on this red. So it hasn't made huge progress, but it has progressed. Maybe I was farther. I don't know. I should put a little doohickey, and I always think that when I'm recording, and then I go downstairs and I don't put one in. All I know is it's growing. It stays in my purse. It's for when I have wait times where I can sort of pay attention. Like tomorrow I'm going to the doctor. I will probably work on that because I can pay attention. Whereas this one tends to be what I work on when I don't need to, when I can't pay attention to the sock at all. I just need to knit. I don't remember where this one was the last time you saw it, but I worked on it a little bit this week because I was in a management meeting for 5 hours. It was a very good meeting. It was a very productive meeting, but it was a lot of interaction and thinking, and it was the kind of stuff that just we're talking about, organizations and how we can help people on our teams grow and what kind of projects we can put them on and different things like that. Talking about their strengths. It's a really, really good meeting, but it's the kind where it's a little stressful, even if it's a good stress. And so at one point I took the knitting out of my purse and I was just knitting under the table, and people knew I was doing it, but I was still fully participating. The HR guy laughed because he came back from somewhere and he came in and he looked at me and I'm like, I don't sit still well. And he starts laughing. He's like, I get that. So, but it was a close team that knows me very well, that I've worked with for years and aren't going to think poorly of me for it. So I did make progress on that. That was the long way to say I made progress on that. I also did 2 snuggles this week. This one is very colorful. I had 2 different balls of random rainbow yarn, but they weren't the same as each other. So I did solid blue and one of the rainbows here. It's not even a full rainbow. It's only the, it didn't have any purple, I don't think, which is kind of odd. Anyway, so I did solid blue and a rainbow. When I ran out of that rainbow, I did solid blue and yellow. When I ran out of the blue, I did solid yellow and the other rainbow. And when I ran out, I ran out. So I'm basically just doing the granny square that KPAR62 told me about. And when I ran out, I ran out. This one is a smaller one because I ran out of the colors that made any sense on this one. But this one I put in the snuggle thread, and I also put it in the inspirational long because I thought these colors looked very much like the winter picture. Now, the last I looked, we seem to be the only podcast actually doing snuggles. I don't want you to think, oh, well, I don't need to do them. That means we need to do more because we have to cover everyone else. Maybe not quite that bad, but poor Sadie's not going to get her coverage if we don't get more people participating. So, I know that Netta did snuggle, and KPAR62, and somebody else who even asked me about them. I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on the name, but she asked me a very good question. She emailed me, and she asked, because I said, you can't double dip your snuggles. You can put them in Yarnivore and you can put them in DragonflySoars. You can't put them in any other podcast. I meant you can't put them in any other podcast Snuggles Drive. So if anybody else does decide to do Snuggles Drive, you can't double dip in them. However, you can do it for general finished objects. So Dramatic Knits Race to the Finish. Go ahead and post them there. The Geeky Girl Knits are having a winter long. If you can convince them that this is winter related, you can post it there. And I gotta say, Java Pearl is Cece, and she and her daughter Damaris do the Geeky Girls Knit podcast, and it's one of my favorites. And I love just watching the interaction between the two of them. And Cece posted in our inspiration along, and she is really good at managing to convince me to write something why her project belongs in the inspiration along, including saying, you know, there was blue in this picture and there's red in this picture and that makes purple. Laugh at her, but follow her lead. She's got it. So I had a conversation with Mom shortly before this because she found a really cool new prize. So I will talk to you about that next week because I'll want pictures from her. But we were talking about trying to do something for like big projects versus little projects, and my only concern is I don't know, for some, you know, even Mom mentioned that for some people a washcloth may be a big project that may take you a while. You know, you're a new knitter or a new crocheter. My first snuggle took me forever. The other ones seem to be going faster because I now kind of got a rhythm. I don't know if they're actually going faster, but I'm not feeling it as much. So I don't want to judge whether something is a little project or a big project. It's just a project. We do have whether it's a charity one or an inspiration along. So charity, snuggles, till the end of February. Please post in our group, post in Yarnivore. I have another one. I have another 2 started. One of them, I don't know if it'll get finished. What I started doing one that was made of the scraps, but I stopped having so much scraps because I stopped. At first, I was only ending on a after a complete square, and if I didn't have enough for a complete square, I set it aside. Well, then I decided that it didn't really matter, and so I just been using the yarn up. So now I don't have as many scraps for my little scrappy, funny colored one. And it's really like this big. I think I might have it. Yeah. This is the next one I'm working on. This was the serious one. And this one's my scrappy one. And I've just been going in a circle. And it's got lots of tails because I had a little bit of purple, a little bit of the light blue, and not quite a full thing of the dark blue, and some rainbow and some yellow. But I don't know if at that moment I'll get finished or not. So anyway, this is my next one. Alright, so that was for our snuggles and our inspiration along. To anybody who's not aware of the inspiration along, we take, every month, have 2 photos. They're not all photos. 2 pictures. And they are your inspiration for every 2-month block. So right now we're in January, February. And there is a Winter Wonderland picture and there is a Valentine's picture. And you can be inspired by the color or the content. Or anything else you can convince me. I don't know what else there would be, but then we also have for every 2-month period, we have a charity knit along. This 2-month period is the snuggles. This one is coinciding with the Yarnivore podcast. So there is a set start and stop. January 1st was our start, and February 28th will be our stop. That's because it's with Sadie of the Yarnivore podcast. The rest of the charity knit-alongs are actually ours. So if you want to start working ahead, that's okay. For all the rest of them, you can start working ahead. You can and just kind of save them up. I did think of starting threads for each of those. I haven't yet. So if you are working ahead and you say, you know what, I've got a stack of mother bears here, can I please start putting them in a thread? I'd say go ahead and open a thread. Just make sure there isn't one already. So like if you started a bunch of mother bears and you want to post pictures, go ahead and start a mother bear thread, and that will be fine. Yeah. So only the snuggles have a tight deadline. Same with purple hats for Katie, because she's taking them all year long. So if you decide that you want to knit up a bunch and send them to her, go ahead and start a thread if you're the first person. Yeah, I just didn't want to start them ahead of time. Now, I'm going to stop real quick, post a picture of the snuggles. Although I'm going to say I have been finishing the snuggles late at night, and there is no good spot in my house to take pictures with decent lighting. So the lighting is terrible. So like this rainbow one is really bright and colorful and fun, and on the picture it looks horrible. So please don't judge. Even best friend looked at it and went, "Ooh, that does not match." I'm like, no, it looks awful. But it's done, it counts. I wasn't going to worry about it. Alright, I'm going to put pictures in, and then I'm going to start showing you things that came. So there's some stuff that's for me, but most everything is for prizes. All right. The things that are for me, I don't have pictures of yet. Well, this one is Blue Moon Fiber Arts. It's the last of the Rock and Whirl Club. This, I think, is the last one. I wasn't expecting one because it was a 2013 club. I do sort of remember seeing something that there was a delay, and I guess I just didn't realize that we weren't finished yet. But this is called Spring Dreamin'. I have not opened it, and I have not taken a picture because for the most part there hasn't been daylight, and when there was daylight it was cold. But it is 40% camel, 40% merino, and 20% cultivated silk. I can feel through my finger right here, and it feels really soft. Oh, but I haven't pulled it out or anything yet. So that was, and I did sign up for the Rockin' Sock Club. This is from Blue Moon Fiber Arts. So this year I'm not doing the fiber. I'm going to do the sock club again. And mainly because I was really intrigued. They posted some preview topics for a couple of the months, and I was intrigued. So I'm crossing my fingers. It was a little hit and miss for me the last time I did it. So I did that, and I also signed up for Fiberista Files Snapshots of Maine Club. I think that's the only things. So the next thing that came, I told you that I ordered stuff from 7 Yaks Design because I had gotten that red snowflake needle gauge, which I kept calling a stitch gauge, and I'm sorry, I meant needle gauge. The snowflake needle gauge in my awesome box from YarnNet, yarnclub.net, I think. Anyway, so, and there was a discount code, so I was like, okay, so I went over to look at her shop, and I found some other things that I really liked. So I got this bit of fiber. It was pretty, and I wanted to try. I like trying different shops' fiber, and because I was already ordering stuff, the shipping became negligible, and it wasn't expensive. I want to say this was less than $10. It's really pretty, and in the future I will get pictures, but it's got a lot of tone to it, in purples and burgundies and silver. So I'm hoping you can see this. I'm trying to hold things still. Especially after I gave Tiff a hard time about waving her stuff around. Speaking of, she made it safely to her new home. So she did try to frighten us on the way, but that's a whole different story, and if you want to know, you can ask her. But she's all good. The cats are good. So, also from 7 Yaks Design, I ordered this. It is a plying tool. Normally if I 2 or 3 ply, I just hold it in my hands. But if I want to do more plies, this might be handy. Or maybe even if I'm doing a 3 ply. Anyway, you thread it through. The other thing you can use this for is if you are doing cross stitch, which I know a lot of you are doing the Frosted Pumpkin Once Upon a Time year-long sampler, where you get a part of the sampler, one piece every month. I know a lot of you are doing this. Well, this can also be used for separating out your embroidery thread. I seriously looked at it today. I looked at it and went, oh, that would be really fun. And then I thought, I don't need something else to do. I won't get it finished. And then I'll just be irritated. So I'm not doing it. This, I don't know what to call this. And these things, because they're acrylic, are not super expensive, but they're interesting. This you're supposed to be able to keep near your spinning wheel, and you can take your, I normally take the singles, and I'm like wrapping it all around my spinning wheel so that they kind of hold together. Well, this you slide all the threads through to the narrow part, and it will hold them for you, and then you don't have to play that game. I have not tried it yet. I haven't done any spinning lately. So, these are for prizes. This is a snowflake for winter, and a heart for Valentine's Day. So these are both for the January, February. Once again, they're needle gauges. This, on all the things you order from acrylic, it says the color may vary. The one I saw was orange, which made more sense. This is a clear sun. I'm sorry, it's still a prize for the beach scene, which is in July, August. So it's going to be one of the prizes. So we got those. And then for a bigger prize that I have pushed off to December, she actually had a sock kit. So if you knit socks or you don't knit socks, these are sock blockers. If you look, there is a needle gauge here that goes from 0 to 17. There are 2 sock blockers. They're clear and they're pink. It also comes with yarn, which there's no label on the yarn, so I don't know what it is. There's also a mini sock blocker or needle gauge in there. So this I have pictures of, so I'll post that. But this will be one prize, one sock set. I ordered these in a size medium. I figured that would cover most people. If we get toward that point and you really need a large or a small, we'll talk, because I can always use the medium. So, but right now, that's all the way in December. So let me post those prizes and then come back again. All right. Before I forget, I want to mention that Nikki, who is Living for Fishing, who has donated, a while back she made a project bag for me, and then last year she donated a project bag and yarn to you guys. She has donated 2 project bags to you guys this year. I do not have them yet, but she took pictures of them, so I'm going to post those here before I forget. One of them will be for July and August, because it is an underwater scene. The other one has rockets, and I put that one in September, October because it reminded me of school and learning and things like that. Next, I've got stitch markers. There are Flancers, who is Jackie, sent me 5 sets of stitch markers. They are all completely different. There is one that's just like chocolate brown markers with a mint end-of-round one. There is a Hawaii one, a Halloween one, Conversation Hearts, and Save the Earth environmental one. I have already assigned these all to months, and rather than take them all out and attempt to show you here, which won't work, I am going to put in pictures of these. Alright, so there was 5 from her. And then I ordered stitch markers from Calliope's Fiber Etsy shop. Below is a note to me. This is her logo. I ordered from her Etsy shop. I believe she also has a, if you go to CalliopeFibers.com, you can see her blog. I don't know if she sells there. Hi. Down, please. So, I ordered from her these kitties. I can't show you very well. This set of kitties and this set of dogs. She sent me 2 extra sets of stitch markers to do with what I want, but suggested that one of them I might want to keep. So, this one is one of the ones she donated, and it is cats. Like cats, kind of in the pose of clawing a scratching post, or they could be this way, getting ready to pounce. So, either way. Those I added to the snuggle prizes. And then this set is the one she suggested I might want to keep, is dragonflies. And so I decided that, yes, I'm going to keep them. So, I will put the Calliope's Fibers stitch markers here. Also, Allison Azad is donating 2 skeins of yarn this year, so I will put them here as well. Alright, all of the prizes I've already assigned to which set of months they're going to go to, and in my head I have most of them kind of figured out whether they're going to go to the charity or the inspiration along. Not all of them, but I can tell you right away that this set, these 2 prizes, are going to be for the comfort shawl knit along for March and April, in memory of our dad who passed away last April. So my family is making shawls for the Blood Center of Wisconsin Threads of Compassion group. In fact, I'm hoping to meet with them in a couple weeks. If I don't meet with them in the January meeting, I'll meet with them in the February meeting. And anybody that wants to can send shawls to me and donate to Threads of Compassion, or you will be able to donate to, you give your comfort shawl wherever it makes sense. If it makes sense at your church or your local nursing home or your own Threads of Compassion group. There are different types of Threads of Compassion when I was reading online. This one is for people that donate blood and tissue. They're part of the Blood Center of Wisconsin. But I've seen other Threads of Compassion that are for battered women, abused kids, different things like that. So any comfort shawl donation you want to make will count. But I would say, please consider sending them to me so I can add them to our local one to say thank you for the ones they sent to us when Dad passed away. But anyway, to the happy stuff. Prizes. I bought these 2 shawl pins. This one's a heart with the little heart one, and this one's a flower with the little green ladybug. Stay down. These are from Glass Etc. Etsy.com. And she mailed these in the cutest little... I just had to show you. When they came, and I have her business card somewhere. They were in a little sleeve like this, and the business card was right here. And then you open it up, and there it is. I didn't realize at first until I looked at it more closely that these are cereal boxes. I thought it was so nice because it protected the copper and the little glass jewel. It was perfect. So those 2 shawl pins, and then Mom is donating a sheep set that has a shawl pin, sheep earrings, and sheep necklace. And so I will post a picture of those and her gift. She's holding it here. All right, another thing, these are mine. These are spinning wheel earrings, but Mom has informed me that she bought another set that will be a prize. So I'm showing you mine, but there's another set for a future prize. I want to remind you that Suzanne, M-I-S-I-M, is donating a $10 pattern prize every single 2-month period for the charity knit-alongs. She specifically said she wanted hers to go to the charity portion. And then Cece, who I was talking about earlier, Java Pearl of the Geeky Girls Knits, she is donating a $15 coupon for her Ravelry store. She currently has 5 patterns for sale, so you could easily get several of them. I know from watching her podcast that one of her goals this year is to release more patterns, so I actually moved her prize further down to September, October, because that way you can have the chance to, see more of what she's done this year. Plus, her husband is in academics. They moved to Scotland so he could be at the university, and Damaris is homeschooled, and so everything they do is kind of about learning, and so I just like the idea of putting them in the back to school month. You are determined. If I try and hold him like this, he does not give me this many cuddles. Let me see. I think I'm forgetting something. Oh, and don't forget, Rosary Realm donated 4 sets of stitch markers as well for January, February, and a winter scene, a winter one, a Valentine's one, a dog one, and a cat one. So 2 of them went to the Inspiration Along and 2 of them went to the Snuggles Drive. And all year she is giving a 25% discount at rosaryrealm.etsy.com with the coupon code Dragonfly. Feel free, if you tell people about the coupon code, tell people to watch the episode to get the code. Don't just hand it out, please. We want to encourage people to watch the podcast and really make this for viewers. So I will try to remind you of that every couple episodes. I probably won't say it every single episode, but I will definitely try and keep reminding you throughout the year that coupon code is valid. I think that's everything. I'm going to look real quick to make sure there's not something I forgot, because some of the things I don't personally have. Alright, I think between this week and last week you have seen everything. What I did is I made a page that has the prizes, and it just has by months, and you're going to see these same pictures at the end. I kind of did collages of the prizes. You're going to see January, February is full of prizes. So, and then March and April's pretty good. Yeah, that one's got quite a bit, and then they kind of go down. But I'm figuring that we will probably, a lot of these prizes I bought myself. I'm pretty much maxed out on my budget for purchasing prizes at this point. And especially since I'll be doing shipping. So if you would like to donate a prize, if you have, like Allison has, a couple extra skeins of yarn, or you have an Etsy shop or anything like that, please, pattern shop that you want to donate, please let me know. we do have prizes for every single grouping. For January, I've already said these are the snuggles and these are the inspirational log. I have not done that for the rest of them, partially because I kind of want to see how things play out. I am leaning toward making anything that we kind of deem as a bigger prize, like the sock blocker set, or the shawl, the sheep set from Mom with the shawl pin and the earrings and necklace, or the other set that she has that she told me about, but I don't want to share yet. Anything that's a little bit of a bigger prize, I'm going to put in the charity ones because I think they're important. So I don't have a way to say it goes for the big projects, so I'm going to say it goes for the charities. Hopefully Mom's okay with that. She can tell me if she wants it to be divvied up somehow different. So I think that is everything. I promise next week will not just be a list of prizes. I mean, I'll show you if there's anything new, but we'll kind of get back on regular cadence of what's going on and tips and knitting progress, things like that. So I will talk to you guys all next week. Bye now.